What's up, everybody, and welcome to Buzzworthy TV. And I'm your girl, Lady T. And just want to come and talk to you today about the Braxtons. We are the Braxtons, and you'll see. So, last night, Toni Braxton, living legend, came up off her throne to address that peasant, David Edifesto, aka Tamar's ex-boyfriend. Okay, y'all. So last night it went down, okay? Around, I want to say about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, yes, yesterday evening. Toni took to her Instagram and she said, and I quote, and yes, I am going to quote her because, again, it's not often that Toni Braxton addresses anyone, particularly on social media. And this is what she had to say when it comes to Mr. David Edifesto. Okay? And she says, and I quote, David, you weasel. You ferret. You are beyond contempt. Once again, do not include my children in your shenanigans. Please leave my family alone. Okay? If y'all didn't hear me, if y'all didn't hear the living legend, she has spoken and she has said, and I quote, you weasel, you ferret, you are beyond contempt. Once again, do not include my children in your shenanigans. Please leave my family alone. I was like, and I clutched my pearls. Not Toni Braxton, living legend. So you know what that tells me, y'all? That tells me that beyond Tamar's overly dramatic antics, that there's something seriously going on in regards to her and David and that whole relationship. But honestly, if you watch Tamar Get Your Life, you can definitely see that there's something going on. And predominantly, it's David's manipulative, narcissistic behavior. And I'm not putting it all on David because Tamar deserves some accountability too, because she allows herself to be manipulated and to be controlled. And I'm going to get into that as well. But I am going to have to, unfortunately, from what I've seen by watching Tamar Get Your Life, from what I've seen, and this is all I can go by, from what I've seen, and I could be wrong, but from what I've seen on this show, David is 75% responsible for what's going on right now in regards to their relationship. Now, the reason why I say that is because he wants to control everything. He wants to control the way she thinks, the way she acts, the way she behaves. She even behaves according to how he behaves. And you see that in the show. You know, if he's offended, then she's offended. Or she alters her behavior so she doesn't offend him, or things like that. And, you know, it's just really sad because you can tell that he's really a narcissist and he's really controlling. But again, Tamar is definitely a part of this issue as well. Because if you watch Tamar Get Your Life, particularly the last episode, when it was his birthday party. Now, again, I know some of you guys have not watched the episode, so I'm just going to make you guys aware of what's going on. Okay, so in regards to what's going on in this episode, okay, so it was, again, his 50th birthday party. And she was tired. And also she was talking to one of the producers in regards to what was going on with Goldie, who was kind of like her life coach and someone who's experiencing in interpreting dreams. She does dream work. So Goldie was upset, and Tamar was talking to the producer as to why Goldie was upset. And here comes David trickling in. Trickling in. Tamar, All my friends are here. We have to come talk to my friends. And I'm not trying to be K. Michelle with trying to make fun of his accent. I'm just making fun of him because I'm sick of him, okay? It has nothing to do with his accent or his culture. I'm sick of him personally. So, she's talking about she's tired, and she still gets up and hangs out with him for a little while. But then still, too, she goes back on the couch, and she's like, I'm tired or whatever. And he's like, well, my friends came to party with us. And she's like, well, let's cut the cake in about an hour or two. They're going to leave, and, they'll get the hint because we done cut the cake. And he's like, well, let's just play it by ear. And she's like, well, I'm tired. You go on ahead. Now, she lays on the couch, but when he leaves her, she comes out there with an attitude, so you going to leave me? So it's like, well, Tamar, you can't tell him basically to go enjoy himself because you're tired and then come back and get mad. And then, because you mad and he left you, you then kind of bow down and change your clothes and come back out with him. So he kind of gets his way. So it was just, the whole thing was just toxic. It's just so much that she just does to kind of appease him. But then again, she kind of wants to be combative. It's a lot going on. And I'm just sad because it's like, okay, Tamar has what we call a pattern, okay? And I'm looking at this camera. It's me and you, okay? I'm looking at this camera because at this point, it's a lot going on with Tamar and with his family, with her relationship. It's a lot going on. Now, first of all, with her and David, she should have never gotten with him right after her separation with Vince, okay? Because she was still vulnerable, okay? And I'm just saying that to say, when you're vulnerable like that, you tend to, I gotta sit back a little bit, y'all. You tend to take a lot more meth than you normally would because you're in a vulnerable state, okay? And so she's in a vulnerable state, and then on top of that, she's going back and falling back into patterns, okay? And when I mean falling back into patterns, I mean she's known to be in toxic, abusive relationships. I mean, her first marriage, come to find out, she's been married before. Granted, it didn't last long. Heck, when I heard about it, I thought it was her boyfriend because, we heard that before this, she was in a very abusive relationship, like very abusive. But I thought it was an abusive boyfriend. Kind of find out it was an abusive husband that she was married to for a very short period of time, and he used to beat the hell out of her. And then you got Vince, who was her manager, her husband, and all these things. So he was, in a sense, controlling in himself. And then, Tamar's combative, and he's controlling. So they would kind of get into it, and they were in a toxic relationship. And then she leaves one abusive relationship to a toxic relationship that is semi-abusive, per her mama, per Tawanda, per Tracy. All of them have said that her and Vince's relationship was borderline abusive. To now, she's in this relationship with David. It's like she keeps putting herself in these positions of where she's in these toxic relationships. So that just tells me that she definitely needs to get by herself and get the help that she needs because she keeps repeating the same toxic pattern. Now, David, he needs to go on somewhere because he's obviously a fame whore, okay? He was I'm in the finance. I just want to be here for Tamar. I just want to be here for Tamar. But every time you turn around, here you go. All in the confessionals. Yeah, I caught that last episode, David, okay? So, you a finance guy, you're not into all the fame and the stunts and the shows, but you getting filmed. You don't want Vince involved in the show. Well, what does it matter if you in finance? You shouldn't even be involved in a show like that. You should be like here and there because this is not your judge. I mean, how many times have we saw people who do reality TV, but their counterpart is not necessarily for the stunts and the shows and the cameras and all that, but they support their spouse, so you may see them passing by, but they're not all in the camera, and they're definitely not calling shots. He literally said he would not participate unless Vince was not involved in the show. Vince couldn't even drop off his son and display that him and Tamar have a good co-parenting relationship without David having a freaking attitude. Come again? Come freaking again. Okay, case closed. So, again, he's manipulative and she's allowing him to control the whole situation. She allowed him to control the situation in the fact that she didn't even have Vince on her show. And she wanted him on her show. Because I remember when they were in pre-production, she was telling everybody, oh, you know, Vince is my baby daddy. We co-parent. You will see him here and there. But then when it came down to it, because David didn't like it, we didn't see Vince. Because it was either David or Vince. And I'm like, you know what? This is just too much. This is just way too much. You know, how much are you going to allow him to control your life? And then, you know, you got Toni Braxton, getting off her crown, explaining what's going on. And it's like, what is really going on? And it got to be a lot for her to actually come off social media and say, no, not today. And you definitely want to involve my kids. Okay? Your weasel, your ferret. You know? So at this point, it's like, what is really going on? I really want to know. Because at this point, the whole family needs to take some time out and heal. Because honestly, if you think about it, Tamar has been displaying that she has mental, I don't want to say, well, I'm trying to choose my words lightly. Okay, mental issues. She's always had mental issues, whether it be insecurity, whether it be abandonment issues. She's had issues. On top of her issues, their whole family has issues from this childhood, growing up in a church, to young adults when their parents finally got divorced, and them even being adults and not even feeling comfortable inviting their father to events because their mother feels uncomfortable because she don't want to deal with the daddy because the daddy done cheated and married another woman. You know, it's just so much going on. And I just feel like, first of all, Tamar needs help. She needs to sit back and be by her doggone self and get the help that she needs. That whole family needs to get off reality TV and get the help that they need. And I'm talking about real help. I don't know what help that's going to be because T.D. Jakes done been there. Iyanla done been there. Dr. Sherry done been there. Shoot, somebody else that I probably done forgot done been there. I don't know. So I don't know what other type of help they can have. I mean, the show is called Iyanla Fix My Life. And shoot, Trina was on Iyanla Fix My Life. Iyanla even came on their show. Went to their network and tried to help them. And couldn't even do it. So I don't know. But however the case, they need to come off reality TV and get whatever help, however they can find it, so that they become a cohesive family. Because reality TV has definitely shown all the trials and tribulations and all the damage and the hurt that has been done to this family. And they just need to sit down and heal. And Tamar needs to heal too. She has a lot of issues and she should have never jumped from one relationship to the next. I feel that that's her pattern. And I just really want her to get the mental help that she needs. I want her to just be by herself and learn to love herself, because that girl is talented, okay? And I know I'm going on a rant, but I just think about how talented she is. You can't deny her talent. Yes, she's annoying. Yes, she's loud. Yes, she's immature. Yes, she does the most. And yes, she calls a lot of things that are happening to her. She brings them on herself. We know that. But you can't deny that this girl is talented. She wouldn't have almost won Dancing with the Stars. Think about it. She would have won if she wouldn't have got sick with them blood clots. She wouldn't have been a hit as a talk show host on The Real, and people wouldn't have missed her presence and be begging her to come back to this day if she wasn't a great talk show host. She wouldn't have won Celebrity Big Brother and was one of people's favorite Celebrity Big Brother house guests if she wasn't talented. She wouldn't sing her face off and people automatically change their mind about her once they hear her sing if she wasn't talented in regards to voice. So I just wish that Tamar could see the talent and see how gifted she really is and get herself together, because she has so much talent, so much to offer the world. I really want her to get herself together. And as far as the family, I want them to get themselves together too. Okay? Because it's time out for all of this. Y'all so hurt that y'all can't really come together and help Tamar and support Tamar in the way that she needs, because this family is broken. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Y'all, put it down in the comments. What do y'all think about what's going on with the Braxtons? What do y'all think about Tamar and David's relationship? What do y'all think about Toni Braxton speaking out about David finally and leaving it on social media? She didn't even delete it. She didn't even do a post and delete. It's still on there, y'all. So let me know what y'all think about that. Put it down in the comments. And please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, y'all. Peace and love.